Next on Worcester News Tonight, supporters of Our Lady of Mount Carmel meet to discuss how to preserve its memory as crews continue to take the former church down piece by piece. Plus, several communities across the state are spraying for Triple E, but now some residents are worried about the chemicals going into the air. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. The Mount Carmel Preservation Society hosts a meeting tonight to come up with ideas on how to commemorate the church. Supporters of Mount Carmel understand the church will be demolished, but they want to save as many important artifacts as they can. Speakers presented multiple ideas on how they can preserve the memory of the church through a mural or by creating an Italian-American Heritage Cultural Center to house pieces from the church. City Councilor Mo Bergman says this meeting will help decide what the next steps will be.
I think people are trying to get together and have two steps. One is kind of a sense of recognizing that the physical building itself won't be here any longer, but I also think it's an attempt to try to find a way to leave the impression of what the building meant to the Italian community here in Worcester.
Bergman says Preservation Worcester has many members who have knowledge in this field and could lend a helping hand. Ahead of a major disc golf tournament in central Massachusetts this week, two professional players showcased their talents at Worcester City Hall. Two-time European champion Simon Lizotte of Germany and defending MVP Open champion Sarah Hokum will compete at the MVP Open at Maple Hill Disc Golf Course in Leicester. Tuesday, they each took turns tossing a disc from the third-floor window of City Hall, attempting to get it into a basket on the Worcester Common. Neither one got it in the basket, but they got pretty close. Hokum says the goal is to spread the word about the sport.
It's probably the biggest sport you've never heard of. And it's just similar to regular golf in that we play for par and birdie and bogey and try to get the disc in the basket in the fewest amount of throws, but we're doing it with actual frisbees. It's a great community of people and it's a great life sport for all ages and all skill levels.
The tournament begins this Friday at the Leicester course. For more information or to watch it live, you can visit pdga.com. A Massachusetts State Police K-9 is recognized for his help tracking down a suspect in Northbridge over the weekend. According to State Police, Trooper Kenneth Hanchett and his K-9 partner Ori responded to a call to assist in the search for a man who kicked his girlfriend's door down, assaulted her, and then took off. Ori led the trooper right to the suspect, which led to the arrest. The construction manager for Polar Park announces they're taking another step forward towards building the future home of the AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. According to team officials, the first demolition for the ballpark is set to begin Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Gilbane Hunt will collapse the building at 50 Washington Street, located on the former Wyman Gordon campus. The demolition site is closed to the public. A product used for decades to control mosquitoes is now raising concerns for some in Central Mass. The company doing aerial spraying say it's safe, but some are worried it may be affecting plants and animals. Our Brittany Schaefer has the details.
Aerial spraying to eliminate as many mosquitoes possible is underway in the Worcester area.
We're actually out in 2012 doing aerial applications as well. I understand that this is the first time that we're doing the area involving Worcester in that middle region.
The Department of Public Health hired Illinois-based mosquito control company Clark to do aerial spraying. Clark says the product they use is effective and has been around for decades.
Specifically, this one is called Anvil 1010. It's sprayed in very, very small, fine droplets that we call an ultra-low volume spray at a height of about 300 feet above the ground. These droplets have to come into contact with the mosquito to actually impact it, to kill it. But once the product hits the ground or a leaf or water or anything like that, it begins to immediately disintegrate.
Howard Lucas worries what the chemical will do to the environment. The program manager runs a teaching garden and says it could have an effect on other insects.
Have seen a reduction in butterflies with the spraying with the eradication of them, we could be also eliminating other species that are really helpful to growing plants. We don't want to disturb their habitat by this spraying, but we also understand that there is a human safety concern. So there's a trade-off with it.
UMass Memorial Medical Center Dr. Sharon Green says people shouldn't worry about any health risks from the spraying, but should continue to protect themselves from mosquitoes.
The levels that are being sprayed are extremely low and that it's supposed to hit the ground very quickly. I probably wouldn't walk outside, but once they pass by, it should not be floating around in the air and cause harm.
Common sense recommendations have been made by a number of municipalities and the states to take an abundance of caution, but none of those are required by label for the products that we're using.
The state says people don't have to take any necessary precautions. Here in Worcester, aerial spraying is expected to continue for the next couple nights. In Worcester, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
More than 25,000 students attend the Worcester Public Schools. Many of them either walk or take the bus. Administrators are reminding drivers to be vigilant and patient. They say construction is happening throughout the city, and they don't want parents rushing while bringing students to school.
We are appealing to parents that if you are bringing your child to school, to please continue to obey the rules of the road, and then you will get your child to school on time. If not, if they're a couple minutes late, then so be it. We'll deal with it. We know that there are safety concerns all over the city. We have crossing guards and crosswalks trying to cross children and parents, very safely, and any cars on the road that are traveling too fast obviously are going to cause us some problems.
Drivers are also asked to watch for crossing guards and to not pass school buses picking up or dropping off students. The city is looking at locations for a new Doherty High School. One of those is on Chandler Street. Worcester State University says they were not aware of the option, which includes 2 parcels of land owned by the school. One of those is the president's home. The other is a garden used by the university's Urban Studies Department. Spokesperson Maureen Stokes says it's still unclear whether or not they would be willing to negotiate with the city.
It's hard to know the impact until we really know and do a further study of everything that's going to happen if this is actually chosen at the site itself. I would imagine it would be a significant impact to the neighborhood and to the university.
The city says they're halfway through their feasibility study and not at the stage to contact property owners. They say owners would be notified further along in the study near the end of the year. Michael LaValle says he and his dad had a great bond. Rainey was killed last month in a crash on Route 49 in East Brookfield. Now, Michael's hoping to help make a change to the stretch of road. Our Aaron Keating has the story.
He loved his IROC Camaro and he'd love to go for a ride every night with the top down.
Michael LaValle remembers his dad, Rainey. The 48-year-old was killed in a head-on crash in East Brookfield last month. It happened on Route 49. LaValle says the highway between Route 9 and Route 20 is used like a racetrack.
The highway is like a death trap, and a lot of accidents have had there.
In the weeks following the crash, LaValle set up a petition asking for more safety barriers on Route 49. The Facebook petition has more than 2,300 signatures.
And we're using those signatures to put barriers, more patrol officers, or traffic lights on Route 49.
The 13-year-old says the attention the petition is receiving is all thanks to community support.
The community's been a great support and emotional system, from getting the word out there, signing and sharing the petition.
LaValle says taking action after the tragedy is something he is sure his dad would do.
He put everybody before himself, and he's the best dad a kid could ask for.
A Shrewsbury woman is crediting the quick actions of a security company dispatcher and first responders. They helped her through a fire last month, and today she got to say thank you. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Deborah Quinn meets the woman who helped her in an emergency. Kathy Taylor was a calming voice on the end of a dispatch line.
So glad you called. Hi, this is Kathy with ADT. Is everything okay?
Yeah, no, I got a little...
Last month, a fire broke out in Quinn's living room while she was home alone at night.
It was just full of smoke, and there was what looked like a blowtorch.
The Shrewsbury woman opened her garage door to get her fire extinguisher, setting off her ADT burglar alarm. She says she wasn't thinking clearly in the smoke, and talking to Taylor reminded her to get outside.
Are you outside, or will you be waiting outside, ma'am?
I could tell that she was coughing. I could tell she was a little disoriented. And my main concern was to get you outside the house.
Taylor made the 911 call to the Shrewsbury Fire Department before Quinn could, so firefighters could respond sooner.
Fire can double in size every 30 to 60 seconds, so every minute counts, obviously.
Quinn had been doing home repairs while her family was away, and a rag spontaneously combusted in the middle of the night. Fire Chief Jim Vona says the department responds to fires like this a few times a year. It's caused by a chemical reaction in the rag and varnish.
We just ask people to, dry the rags outside, away from the house, in a metal can if they could.
Quinn and her family thanked ADT and the Shrewsbury Fire Department Tuesday for their actions. She says it shows how critical dispatch and first responders' jobs are.
I still am awake at night thinking what would have happened because my bedroom is right above that. So, a few more minutes, the wall would have ignited.
Taylor and Chief Vona say meeting Quinn showed them the real impact their jobs make. ADT awarded the Shrewsbury Fire Department $5,000 to continue helping the community. And in the case of fire, the chief urges people not to fight it, get outside and call 911. In Shrewsbury, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.